How many of you guys was here yesterday? Okay, good, good. So I hope you liked the session. That's why I can see you again. Okay, excellent. Today is a different setup. Yesterday we've gone through a discussion. There was some good, interesting questions. That's the QR code. Just feel free to add me on LinkedIn as well. And again, I will ask the same question which I asked yesterday to the people who were here. How many of you, again, used ChatGPT the last week?
Specifically ChatGPT
or any other LLMs? Could be Claude, could be Gemini, could be, Mixtral. Excellent. Yesterday. Today, in the last half an hour. Okay, there you go. So it's, as you can see, it's something that we use now. It's like we are using any app on our phone. So it's something, becoming part of our lives. And you're gonna see more and more of use of AI, same as the electricity. As I mentioned yesterday, it's gonna become a foundational technology which is gonna go to the background. We will not even think about it as something, should I use AI? It's like when you wake up in the morning and turn the light on and off. So it's gonna be the same. So I guess I wanna make this session first. You've heard lots of story about using the AI in the classroom, but I thought we'll show you a video after this one with some basic introduction about what Gemini means, what AI means, and how they develop this technology. I think in a simple, good video, just to get a bit of understanding about the technology, and then we dig deeper in terms of how it can be used in school as well and why it can be used. So we'll go through the video.
What exactly is generative AI? When new content is created by artificial intelligence, it's called generative AI. This could involve generating texts and images, as well as videos, music, or voices. To do this, you describe in a chat dialog box what you want the AI to create. This description is called a prompt. The generative AI tools provide answers to all sorts of questions, summarize complex information, and generate diverse ideas quickly. Depending on how they're used, they can create short stories, paintings, pieces of code, or even musical compositions. The foundation for this creation lies in large amounts of data that the AI system accesses to identify patterns and similarities. The content produced by the AI is new. It's often impressive and challenging to distinguish from things humans have made. Generative AI can also be misused. In so-called deepfakes, AI is utilized to produce images or videos that seem real. AI-generated texts are also tough to recognize as machine-made. Moreover, the AI can provide answers that sound correct but are actually incorrect. This is called hallucinating. The quality of what's created depends on both the quality of the data used and the quality of the prompts given. To effectively utilize generative AI, we need to learn how to guide the tools with meaningful prompts and use them thoughtfully. Generative AI holds immense potential and can help us in many ways, such as serving as a writing or learning partner. However, the AI should do the hard work, and humans should be responsible for the facts.
So, a bit of background about this technology. So it's good to understand how it works, opportunities of this technology, and also the downside of it. And the most important thing is the downside, how we deal with it, how we respond to hallucination. Even us as humans, we make mistakes, and AI the same. But how we can prompt it properly and enter the appropriate data so it does not hallucinate. And I guess also it's our responsibility as teachers to check the facts as well. So we shouldn't rely on it 100%. Now, this is the session roadmap. So what we're gonna go through today. in terms of the importance of AI in education. So I will explain next what is AI and what are the era of AI we're going through as well. And then we're gonna dig deeper in terms of AI in the classroom. Then we will show a quick demo as well, which is role play scenario-based assessment. It's how you could examine the students in a situational real-world environment as well. So we'll go through this example. It's called CompetencyAI, and then a quick roadmap for teachers how they could implement AI in the classroom. Then we'll try to leave some time for questions and answers. Okay, so as you can see, AI here, it's a computer system, all right? Although now when we deal with AI, it feels like you are talking to a human, and especially to the kids. When they start developing this bond with AI, we have to be careful to advise the student and to educate them. AI is not your friend. Make sure what information you provide to the AI. Again, what's happening now is a technology trying to mimic how we think. It's really works a similar way how our neurons work as well. So what happened before the release of ChatGPT? We worked on AI. You use your Google Maps. You've got the Netflix recommendations. You've used different technologies. So this is called narrow artificial intelligence. So it's an AI good in one task in particular. Okay. So narrow artificial intelligence is the AI we knew the last 50 years and more. Now, after they discovered, and over the years, technology builds on top of each other. So which means we go to the point where in the era of machine learning, so we developed systems, large language models, that also learn. We don't have to pre-program them. Previously, if you want to create an AI application, you would pre-program it. You would build the system, and you would hope if someone will ask this question, they will get this answer. So there's a pathways. It has to be pre-programmed. Now you don't have to pre-program it. What happens is AI is learned from all the data on the internet, all the data we have, and it has access to. So it was a trend. It's a complex set of systems in the background that form something called large language models. So what's happening now, we are moving from the narrow to the general artificial intelligence, AGI, which means systems that as smart as all of us collectively. So imagine a system is the best as a physician, the best as a doctor, the best as a math teacher. So we are getting into this era now. So in some in some fields, it's even performing better than humans. So we are getting into the AGI now, and then after this, we will get to the ASI, artificial superintelligence. That's where things get really scary as well. We have to be really ready as community, as government, as policymakers, to be ready for this era, because we will have systems way smarter than us. And we have to be ready for the time when it comes, that there's proper regulations, guardrails, proper curriculum, and the proper experience, hopefully we built over the years until we get to this time. So the ASI is also called in other terms the singularity, which the point we're gonna hit it, where that's it, the machine is way smarter than humans. So this is a bit of background about AI and the different categories of AI. And I will focus a bit more now on the education side. And again, it's already shaping everything we do. So you all use it now. Every one of us is using it on a daily basis. So it's becoming part of everything we do, in particular education. So what happened in education? We had the traditional classrooms. The teacher will stand in front of the board, There wasn't any digital technology at the time. And then when the internet came in the mid-90s, we started to think of how we can use this technology to digitize and help us in the classroom. So we came up with the concept of learning management systems to help the teachers and the students from admin perspective. We started creating e-learning tools. With the e-learning tools, it saved a lot of time. You get the students, okay, go back home, study these materials. They can communicate with the teachers through the learning management system. But now there's another era in education. So it's the AI. AI is becoming part of the e-learning journey as well. So we're moving from the traditional digital learning to the AI learning. Okay. As I mentioned yesterday, we have to have a safe assumption. Students will use AI after 3 p.m. So when they go back to school, they're going to use it. So when you give them assignment, they will use ChatGPT or Claude or whatever model to answer the questions. So that means how we can rethink the way we teach and learn as well. How we can think of flipping the teaching approach, where we give them a task, they can spend more time on this task at home to use AI to help them in the research, so they can learn alongside with the AI. And then when they come back to school, you can test their knowledge. You can engage them in a deeper learning, critical thinking, more higher level engagement with the students as well. So we have to think about it this way with the assumption they're going to use it at home. Pop-up quizzes, assessments during the classroom, and the other methodologies as well. So that's what I mentioned here, what you need to focus on the classroom. More analysis, synthesis, more deeper discussions, while you keep the low-level cognitive tasks, they can take them back at home. And now, why AI matters in education? Okay, why we like it, and maybe why we are a bit worried about using AI. The good thing about it now is how it can address the diverse learning for the students, because they learn in a different way, right? And you all teachers, and you know students' strengths and weaknesses. How we can use AI to determine the strengths and the weaknesses of the students even before the first and the second exam. How we can know this even faster when they start the classroom. Okay. So as soon as the students they start engaging with the AI tutor, from the first few days, they will start building understanding about the performance of the students from the questions they ask, from the answers they provide as well. So the AI can determine the performance of this student and provide this in the back-end analytics. So the teachers can have early intervention to determine the level of the student, which they can step in if there's anything they need to talk to the students, or anything they need to improve, or if there's any red flags as well. So again, it's something can help us in the early stages in the classroom. So as you see here, think of AI as your unpaid teaching assistant who never sleeps, never calls in sick, and never complains about marking. So that's the part, I used to teach at uni, and when it comes to the marking time, that's where I was like, geez, I need to find a solution for this. I hope there's AI. That was before 2020. I hope there was an AI would take some of the work we do on this. Then we built competency.ai, which I will show you later. The intelligent tutoring systems, ITS. So that's the systems where it would help us in determining students' performance. It will help teachers to reduce the time it takes them doing repetitive tasks. It helps with analytics, so you understand the student performance. And the most important thing, to help the student find the spark, because the students learn in a different way. So how we can help them to find the spark. Okay. So once the students are motivated, so once they feel comfortable dealing with this AI tutor, and the AI tutor will know better from their learning experience what they're good at, where they need to improve, it will start dealing with them according to their strengths and weaknesses. And that's where I guess the AI could step in and help the student find a spark as well. There's a quick video, it's 5 minutes, but I will make it maybe a little bit less. So this is an example. Have you heard of Khan Academy? Yeah. So Sal Khan, he was at the GTech. I met him June this year. He's a great guy, and he's really passionate about helping millions of people to learn through AI as well. Khan Academy is doing great work, and this is a good example you guys can follow in terms of how you can fine-tune the AI tutors to help and support the students, not only just answering questions, not the Google way of answering the questions, but help them in the thinking process, which we mentioned yesterday. The term metacognition is helping them to think in the appropriate way. So how they can push ChatGPT, how they can do the best prompt in order to help them in the learning process as well. So it's a great tool, Canmigo.
We'll give you a little bit of background of what Canmigo even is and how you should think about using it. So Canmigo is an artificially intelligent assistant with many capabilities. It will assist you with some of the things you've always done on Khan Academy, but it now also allows you to do more things. Now, when you have access to Canmigo, you're going to see this menu right over here of activities. Now, what happens with these activities is for each of these activities, there's different instructions to Canmigo in the background to make that activity work really well. So, for example, if you wanted to be tutored in math or science, you should go to Tutor Math and Science. And so this might be a great place to say, I want to understand photosynthesis. Synthesis better. That's a science question. It makes sense to ask it there. And it says, fantastic, photosynthesis is a cool process. Let's start with a simple question. What do you think plants need to perform photosynthesis? So this is an activity where Canmigo, because it knows that you want tutoring in math or science, it's going to do it, but it's not just going to give you the answers. It's going to try to ask you questions and then understand where you are, and then help you fill in any gaps of your understanding. Now, if you go to one of the other activities, say this activity right over here, which is all around helping someone focus. We've actually worked with researchers, and if you do this, it's a good chance it'll help you focus more things. But here, if you try to be tutored in math or science, Canmigo is not going to work so well, because that's not what the instructions for Canmigo here are about. So if I said, I want to understand photosynthesis, I think it's something weird is going to happen here. That's awesome, but first, let's get you in the right mindset. How ready are you to study right now on a scale from 0 to 10? So what you can see here is it's not really engaging with helping me understand photosynthesis. It's trying to do this activity that will help me focus. And you could go down to all of these other activities. Each of them have different instructions to the underlying artificial intelligence, to Canmigo. If you went to brainstorm an essay, but once again, you wanted to get tutoring on factoring polynomials, that's not the place to do it. Brainstorm an essay is a place to brainstorm an essay. If you went to the debate topics and said, let's write a story together, let's go there. So here's a place where you can get into a debate with the AI on a whole series of topics, and you take one side, the AI can take another side, which is great. But if you said, let's write a story together, it's going to struggle with that a little bit. I'm sorry, but I'm here to help you debate on specific topics. We can't write a story together. Let's choose a topic from the approved list and start our friendly debate. If you want to write that story together, we have things like, right here, craft a story. And so this is a place, let's write a story together, which it already knows that you want because you're coming here. Oh, how absolutely delightful and positively brimming with excitement. So each of these activities are going to be good at different things. So look at the activities, look at the directions, and don't try to do anything anywhere. Now there's a whole other side to Conmigo. What I've just shown you is our activities page. But Conmigo also acts on the side in anything that you are doing on Khan Academy. So let's say that you are
just gonna stop here and move to the next So again, this is an example how you can implement AI tutors in school. So as you can see, you create a team of experts on fields or teachers who are expert on their own fields, and they will only answer within the context you provided them in the background. So you have a curriculum or course content, you upload in the background, and you prompt the AI tutor to only respond within the context of this curriculum. So it doesn't sidetrack, it doesn't provide information that is not included in the curriculum when you use those generic LLMs as well. So it's more controlled environment, it's more specialized in your curriculum, and it will only respond within the context you provided. Okay, and you can create a team of AI tutors that the student can use and help them again in the thinking process. So that's really important part of the AI tutors in schools. And then you could build a AI researcher to help students when they go back home, when they do their own homework as well. So the thing is, when you have your own AI tutor, you would build analytics. So over the days and the weeks, the AI will start building knowledge about this student. It will log it in the backend, so you can, as a teacher or as a principal, you can step in, see the analytics, see the dashboard, what's happening with the student. Do we need to do anything about this student from the questions they ask, if there's any sentiment analysis. And also it's supported by evidence as well. So there's an evidence the student is lacking there or doing so good here. So what we can do about it, okay? Again, how long it takes you to determine the student performance? Can you do it from the first week or from the first month? So AI is an early indicators of the student performance. And from teachers' perspectives, how you can use it to reduce some of the work you do. What are the pain points? Does it, are you taking you too long when you do the marking for the students as well? Could you use AI to reduce the time it takes you to mark one student? So let's imagine it takes you 20 or 25 minutes to mark one student assessment. How about using AI to reduce this time to 3 or 5 minutes, for example, which means you provide the appropriate rubric to the AI, you get the AI to scan the student answers, and it will be mapped against the rubric you provide or the assessment criteria, which means the AI will, within seconds, provides feedback with mark and the reason why they've got this mark as well. And as a teacher, you can go through it quickly. If you're happy with the results and with the feedback, you just release, approve the mark or edit it if you would like. So again, I think assessment is really an important part of the teaching process and to help the teachers so they can have an extra time to do more deeper work with the students, so they can focus on more meaningful tasks with the students. Example, we'll go through it quickly, which is CompetencyAI. CompetencyAI is an application we built. It's a scenario-based role-play assessment, which means we try to focus on reduce the time it takes one teacher during role-play assessment with one student. So for example, as a teacher, you will only can, if you want to do role-play assessment, you only can sit with one student, ask a question, observe the answers, and then provide feedback. How about we use systems that can help us doing role play assessment with as many students as you like? Now, this technology works in a scenario based. So what happens, as a teacher, you would come up with a scenario. So let's imagine one of the courses, the students learned about investigating an incident. Let's imagine there was an incident happened in a lab or in a factory, and you want to teach them how to think and how to ask the right question in order to investigate what happens, and then provide solutions to the incident and to the problem. So what happens with this technology? You create the scenario, you upload it, then you create your rubric, how you wanted them to be marked, and then you create the questions to be answered. And also you create a personas. What that means, in an incident environment, there would be witnesses, or there will be someone who is working on a machine, or someone who is the manager of this site. There will be another witness who is involved in the admin side. And this technology helps the students to ask the right question to the right person in order to get the right answer, which they can use it in their conclusions. Okay, so we'll try to show you quickly. So what happens in there? Usually the scenario could look like that. Okay, so there is, it's a beer example, not appropriate for school, but I use it for another example. So make sure don't use examples like that. But so you come up with the scenario. You can use AI as well to generate the scenario, which is easier. And once you come up with the scenario, again, it's a long scenario about incident happened in a factory where they printed, the label on the cans upside down. Okay, so it's a fun example, and it's a fun way to talk to the AI about it. So you take this example and upload it on a. So that's the scenario. You upload it here. Okay. So the system would have a section where you have your scenario. You upload everything there, and then you provide which industry. So there's some information. And you come up with, we call it evidence source. So there are people who were involved in the incident. You add them here. So usually there's an initial evidence. So which means when the student logs in and do the assessment, they will start talking to one person. Okay. So there's only Emily, and they can start talking to Emily in order to see what happens. Okay. Now, no one else will show up here. So those names will be hidden, but only Emily there. If you ask the right question, their names will pop up on the chat. So that means that will also examine the student understanding of the scenario and the topic they've studied by monitoring what are the questions they ask, and if they ask the right question, then they will get the answer. Okay, so it's more engaging back and forth question and answers between the students and the different AI personas. Okay, and again, you upload the rubric, how you wanted them to be marked, based on their answers, and then so they will answer the questions here based on the conversation they go through, which determines their understanding, their practical understanding of the incident. If they manage to find a solution, they will answer the questions, and after they answer the question, they will submit, and then they will receive their marks here. And really, the AI will go through the chat, will go through the questions they answered, and will give them the marks straight away within seconds. And why? So it checks the grammar, it will check their answers, it will say the reason for the mark. So it's we call it eval AI or evaluation AI, and then with the feedback and the sample answer. So again, you can see how within seconds, imagine yourself as a teacher, how long is going to take you to mark all these questions? But you get instant marking, and you just modify it if you would like. Okay. So basically, you know, the AI tutors and assessment can be used in a different scenarios in a school. It can be role play assessment, which, you know, it prevents students from cheating as well, because they have to think about asking the right question. They have to engage with the appropriate people or AI personas. It's not a matter of, okay, do this assignment, they will go and use ChatGPT, then they will check it on Claude, it will paraphrase it, they will check it somewhere else, paraphrase it. So now it's easy to cheat, and it's so hard to detect if they are using AI. So hard. Doesn't matter how they tell you. We have a tool that will detect if it's been AI written, because they use it many times. It will be paraphrased many times. So that's why we need to change the approach. We need to think about assessment and learning in a different way. How we can use AI to really determine the student understanding as well, and mark them. So quickly, that's what the technology can be used for as well. And so that's competency AI. And now for you as teachers, just to take back in terms of thinking of how you want to implement AI in your schools. Don't jump quickly. Always take baby steps, even for you as a teachers, before you release anything to the students. You have to first define the goals, why you want to use it. Where are the pain points in your school? Why you want to ask yourself this question all the time, why you want to use it, and make sure you define the goals properly. And start with a simple user-friendly tools. Just start simple. Don't implement school-wide solutions without being really tested properly. Start with something simple, test it with your colleagues, test it with the students as well, with a number of students, see how the technology works, determine if it fits the way you work, it fits your teaching approach, and if you want to scale up as well. So start step by step, and then gradually expand. You know, as you get more confident in the tools, you can roll it out as you go. And then once you provide it to the students, make sure you monitor analytics, make sure you monitor how this technology responds to the students. Evaluate, did it save your time? Evaluate, has it improved the student performance at school? Evaluate, has it improved the teacher performance at school as well? So it's really important to go through it again and again, and improve and refine in the next iteration. If there's anything you want to refine in the course or in the technology, you do it in the next increment as well. So basically, that's a quick roadmap for the educators. Again, open for questions. I hope you found this. Yeah, please, go ahead.
This might be a cheeky question given we're at an AI conference, but AI is evolving so rapidly. Do you have some good suggestions for conferences to keep up to date, conferences in AI and education, either nationally or internationally? Yeah, it's not cheeky. The AI is cheeky, and that's what we need to deal with, yeah? So we are a software development company. It's crazy what we see. Like sometimes we use some technologies in the back end, and the following day, something changed. There's a better technology, or you can use it better. So it's accelerating. So the thing is, and as a humans, we think in a linear way, not in acceleration, and that's where things get scary. But that's why we need to keep up with it. We need to be on the top of everything is happening. We need to make sure we are upskilling ourselves literally on a daily basis. Subscribe to different magazines, follow different AI gurus on Twitter. So stay informed, stay updated. And I guess that's the best way. And keep experimenting with the technology as well. So if you are using AI tutor connected to GPT-4, and now we have GPT-5, try it with GPT-5, because sometimes even if you unplug it from here and plug it somewhere else on a more advanced technology, that means the output can be different, which means you need to update your system prompt in the background, which means you might to update some of the content as well. So I would say on a daily, not even weekly basis, it's crazy what we see is happening. So we have to be on the top of it, because the AI is cheeky. It's going to become cheekier than us. Yes?
I had a very simple question.
Yeah.
So it seemed very interesting with the role play, what's being introduced over here.
Yeah.
So I think this is more of a social framework that comes to also academic support as well. But then, sometimes students struggle hard to ask questions. And is there anything that enhances like the AI that rephrases the question in a better way and also gives them a disclaimer about the language that needs to be followed? So is there some orientation done in person or something like a video they could understand before taking it up?
Definitely. So when you implement any AI technology, first of all, you need to understand your audience. So what kind of students and at which level they are at. And then, as I mentioned, when you take these slowly steps, when you define your goals, then you start with a pilot. That's what you learn as a teacher. You learn from the pilot in terms of, okay, it works this way. Then what kind of orientation and videos and support as teachers we have to provide to the students before they start using this technology. So this definitely lies on the teachers to do it on the short term. But as I mentioned something yesterday as well, on the long term, there should be more government involvement on a system level to really update the curriculum and include AI in this curriculum. So there's a long-term teacher involvement, and then there's a short-term teacher involvement and a long-term system level updates on the curriculum. But definitely it's something that has to be done before any use of this technology. Yeah.
Alrighty, we will break there for that. Thank you, Sharaf.
You're welcome. Thank you all. Thanks very much.